Good morning, Upper Dublin.
How the heck are ya? On today's episode, we have an interview with our favorite school nurse. Ryan does, well, his usual spiel, and we've got the senior class president on Over Under. You know, Tyler, we've got a big birthday coming up.
Weird. I can't think of any birthdays.
Well, for Tyler and those of you who are unaware, Upper Dublin is celebrating its 300th birthday.
This has Portney written all over it. Over to you, Josh.
Good morning, Upper Dublin, and a very happy birthday to Upper Dublin Township, turning 300 years old this year. The township has a fantastic lineup of events in celebration of the tricentennial later this year. We'll get to that later, but first, join me as I walk through the history of how Upper Dublin got to this point. Let's start in 1701, when the township was first established after William Penn ordered a survey of all the townships in the Commonwealth. Upper Dublin grew in size from there and was later formally incorporated as a township in 1719. That officially begins Upper Dublin's 300-year-long history. Upper Dublin served as the home for Washington's troops in the winter of 1777 after the Battle of Germantown. In fact, the Emlyn House, located on Upper Dublin's side of Camp Hill Road, was the temporary headquarters for General George Washington. Fast forward to 1714, when the Quaker Friends Meeting House opened up and later served as an Underground Railroad hideaway in the 1850s. Later in the 1800s, Lower Dublin was incorporated into the city of Philadelphia under the Act of Consolidation. That left only 14 square miles of the UD we know and love. Running ahead to 1946, when UD was granted governmental status as the first-class township. Finally, in the mid to late 1900s, Upper Dublin's population flourished from 4,600 in 1940 to over 25,000 by the year 2000. In this time, UD became known as one of the most well-known suburbs in the region. Upper Dublin has quite a rich history. Join us next week as we talk to President Ira Tackle of the Board of Commissioners to see what we have in store to celebrate this historic year. Thanks for joining me, and happy birthday, Upper Dublin.
Well, happy birthday, Upper Dublin. Hope it's the best one yet.
Since we are celebrating Upper Dublin, it's only right to say we give some love to Nurse Berry.
Of course, she's been taking care of us since the Sandy Run days.
That's 7 years of TLC nurse.
Good morning, Upper Dublin. We are here today with Nurse Berry. She is one of the 2 nurses at Upper Dublin High School. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you so much, Ari.
I have done some research about nursing degrees, and I found that you need a bachelor's degree in nursing to work at a hospital. Is that the same type of degree you need to work at a high school or a school?
Actually, to be a certified school nurse, you have to take classes beyond the bachelor's degree that are specific to some of the school health policies and school law. So it's actually a little bit more than your bachelor's.
And how many years of schooling would you say it was altogether?
For me,
Yeah.
well, I have my master's degree in nursing, and then after that, and then I have many credits after that too. So it's always ongoing. Education never, ever really ends.
What made you want to be a nurse?
I think back when I first went, I don't remember really. It was recommended to me by a guidance counselor. And, you know, nursing is one of those wonderful degrees that takes you in all kinds of directions.
Definitely.
I lived a while in Colorado. I came back. I worked at the Children's Hospital for 20 years. And then I ended up in school. And it's been a wonderful ride.
Definitely. And on last note, what would you say a normal day looks like at Upper Dublin?
There is no normal day, but the typical day usually includes, we are responsible for getting a vision assessment on every student in the school. All 11th graders get their hearing assessed, and then we collect the data on heights and weights for the whole entire school. So that's a part of almost every day, that obtaining that data. And then taking care of kids, making sure that they, if they're sick, that they go home, and if they can get back to class, get back to class. So that's a typical day, but then there's all kinds of things in between.
Well, guys, you heard from Miss Berry, and these are your ED nurses.
Thanks, Miss Berry. Upper Dublin is so lucky to have you.
A little bit ago, Josh was able to sit down with Upper Dublin's finest.
That's weird. I don't remember talking to Josh.
Tyler, the jokes never end, do they?
Welcome to the district. I'm Josh Portney at the news desk. Here's the latest news from around the district. This is a special segment of the district as we're sitting down with Officer Gowan and Detective Scarpato to thank them for their service and ask them a little bit about their jobs. 2019 just started, but we need to reflect on the unsung heroes of 2018, the police officers who keep us safe. So first, thank you, Officer Gowan and Detective Scarpato. Now let me ask you, Officer Gowan, why did you decide to get involved in the police force?
I think I decided to get involved in the police force because I grew up in a law enforcement family, so I get to see how police officers work and how fulfilling of a career it actually is.
All right. And how do you become a police officer in Upper Dublin?
So there's an extensive testing process, written test, physical test, oral interview with Upper Dublin police officers, background investigation, and if all goes well, then you get hired.
All right, nice. And so now, Detective Scarpato, you're a very familiar face here at Upper Dublin High School.
Sure am.
But what are your day-to-day duties?
My day-to-day duties can change every day. It's one of the reasons I became a police officer, because we come to work every day, we don't know what we're going to deal with and who we're going to deal with. One of the things I like about my job is I get to deal with juveniles and do the investigations and meet the families, and not only as offenders, but both as victims and witnesses also.
All right. So what's your role in the school district when you come over here?
My role in a school district, it all depends on what the situation is. I have multiple roles here. One is to maintain the safety for everybody that works in the school and goes to school here, and to deal with the juveniles, like I said, not only as offenders, but both as victims and witnesses, make sure they're safe, that their incident is handled, and do our best diligence to make sure everything's taken care of in a good way.
All right, well, thank you guys, and thanks for watching. This has been The District.
Thank you.
Great work, Portney.
Yes, and a huge thanks to Upper Dublin Police Department for coming out. So many people have been asking, when are we going to bring back Over Under?
Consider your prayers answered. This week features Senior Class President Connor English.
Underrated. You want to show some power? You walk down the hall with one of your agendas. Teacher walks down. You got a pass to be in this hall? Yeah, I do. You're holding that thing up. Overrated. He is no Meek Mill, no Drake, no Tupac. Rip. Overrated. You want something that you can lose really easily? AirPods. Why don't you just get headphones that have the little strings that connect to your phone? Same thing. Still hear the music. Overrated. You know where I lift? The Upper Dublin weight room. Because I'm in the weightlifting club. We throw up big weights. Underrated. You fill out one application, you can go to like a bajillion schools. Anywhere. Harvard, Penn, Westchester. Underrated. It's the only time my mom lets me stay up that late. Pretty cool. Midnight, only seen that once. Underrated. We are. There's also like a million Penn States. Penn State Abington, Altoona. That's all I know, but there's like a bunch of other ones, but it's pretty cool. Oh, underrated. They keep things ice cold. Like, one time I put chocolate milk in my sister's hydro. She got mad, but it still tastes really cold all day.
I don't know if I agree with everything, but that was a nice job, Connor.
Yeah, agenda passports are completely overrated, but that's none of my business.
All right, UD. You may have seen these guys on a show a few times.
Yes, Connor, Colin, Merms, and TJ here review the teleprompters found in the cafeteria and in front of the school.
Hello UD and welcome back to another Upper Dublin Tech Review. Today we will be discussing the UD prompter and sharing all of its amazing features. So let's jump right in. First up, the UD prompter is located directly above the tables in the cafeteria. There it is. Every day, the prompter displays important messages about the activities happening throughout the school, such as Let's Talk College and UD Tech Review. The prompter has about 4,000 pixels on it, which gives it the 4K HD quality it's always had. Spectacular! The prompter is 100% water resistant and can withstand all of the school's harsh elements. The prompter is also a great conversationalist.
Hey, prompter, how you doing? I'm good, thanks for asking.
Well, this has been your UD Tech Review. Join us next week when we review the stairs.
And that's it for today's episode.
Thanks for watching
This has been your
UDTV.